guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a book review of The Insufferable Lightness of Being. So this is a really easy book to read. I think it would qualify as philosophy, which I think for the most part can be a scary word. However, don't be. This was really easy to read, honestly. So it's a book in, I believe it's 7 parts. The chapters are really short, which has been very nice. Kundera starts this book by posing 2 main ideas. The first one is Nietzsche's idea of the eternal life or the eternal repetition of life, that essentially everything happens again over and over again and is driven by the burden. And the second idea that Kundera poses is this notion, I believe, which was by Parmenides, another philosopher, of weightlessness, that a life has a weightlessness to it that is source of happiness and good, that is in opposition with darkness and bad, essentially this yin and yang situation. And so through these 2 ideas, Kundera tells the story of Thomas, Teresa, Sabina, and France, who are the 4 main characters. So Thomas and Teresa are husband and wife. Sabina is Thomas's mistress, and France is like Sabina's partner, booty call, boy, whatever. I don't know. They're just doing it, man. So there are other characters to it, and it's a very layered story, but very simplistic as well. Like, their story, but they're very everyday people, right? Like, there's nothing specifically that makes them special people. You're just following them, and that's what's really interesting about this book to me, is that it's very much like a slice of life, where there's not a specific beginning and there's not a specific ending to it. It really feels like you're just watching a part of a movie. And this book does it very well. Like, it's not, I'm not saying this is in a negative way at all. It knows exactly what it's doing. And through this kind of banality, there's a critique of human existence, which I think is very, very thought out and well expressed in its simplicity, that I think is extremely refreshing as well, that you don't find in many philosophy books. What's cool is that this book is told in 7 parts that are pretty, I think, distinctive in their content. So the first part is lightness and weightlessness. No, hold on, lightness and weight. I don't know, I'm translating it off the seat of my pants. My copy is in English, in French. Anyway, first part is lightness and weight. The second part is the body and the soul. Now, this was really interesting because you get Teresa's, during different parts of the book, it kind of shifts from, you're always in the third person, but sometimes you focus more on Thomas and sometimes more on Teresa and such. This part focused a lot on Teresa and her relationship with her mother as an adult and as a child, and I thought it was really interesting, especially for themes like body image and freedom and like just breaking a lot of social standards. There's the third part, which is words misunderstood. 4th is body and soul again. 5th is lightness and weight. 6th is the Great March, as in walking. And the 7th part, which is Karenin's smile, however you want to pronounce that in English. So just to explain, they named their dog Karenin after Anna Karenina. So that's in reference to their dog in the story. But what I find interesting is that as you see the themes of each part repeat themselves, except the last 2, you get a train of thought of Kundera, who reminds you of things before and things to come, and they, you know, like for example, the body and soul part. So in the beginning, you see Teresa's relationship with her mother, amongst other things. And then you go on to the other part, which I think was Words Misunderstood, and then back to body and soul. And so he's kind of like, you see this and that, and he kind of dots the I's and crosses the T's in a very intelligent way and very smooth way, which is why I would absolutely recommend this book, because it's just easy to read. I really like that Kundera also steps out of the story at times to give his commentary as a viewer of the story. It's interesting because he does actually explain that these characters are totally made up, like they don't exist. I think he even says it at some point, like specifically, but I forget exactly, but he does say that these are totally made up characters, but they are very much based on situations that he's experienced personally. I thought it was a really interesting take on the meaning of life, if you will, where he kind of basically poses the question of what gives life meaning, if it's burdens, having a burden as a driving force for your life, or is it having this inner freedom and lightness within you that gives you momentum to live, if you will. And it's interesting because you kind of teeter-totter between the two situations for each character, where they kind of, you know, their situation evolves in relation to each other, but also from things that affect them personally. You do get, like in all philosophy books, this kind of like yes but no, but yes but no. But I think to some extent Kundera kind of takes a definitive stance on it, even just through the title, where it seems like to him lightness is, or like the inner lightness that balances the dark, is the insufferable burden. But then he also uses the word burden, and I just contradicted myself, of course. But I feel like through this book, okay, this is my personal feeling, by the way, but I think that Kundera's leaning, maybe unconscious stance, was that burden is more so what drives life than the inner lightness. Personal thoughts. I'd be very curious what you think about it if you've read it. And I'd love to hear if you're gonna read it. I hope you liked this video. Like it if you did. Comment your thoughts down below. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.